Missouri, this is Ryan Derks. I'm asking you to vote for me on November 3rd to represent us up in Washington, D.C. The following series is called Vision 2020, A New Normal. Here's how I see it. I don't even care who's to blame at this point. Democrats and Republicans of the past both have blood on their hands. But this is now. It's time for the millennial generation to step up and have a voice in what direction this country moves. Because what happens next is on our shoulders. This campaign is about repealing a failed and corrupt political system and returning the power back to we the people. What I want to do right now is do something that no politician ever does. I want to be very precise in how I see myself implementing your voice for a better America. All of these solutions revolve around the same general message that I keep hearing from you. Decentralize control away from the corrupt federal government and put the decision-making power back to Missouri. So this episode is called Education in Missouri. Our K-12 national education system is a one-size-fits-all program that does not fit all. Right now, all a special interest and lobbyist have to do is go to Washington, D.C., and they own the nation's entire school system. I want to share with you how I feel we can repeal this legislation and decentralize the decision-making back to you. First, our country's rule book, the Constitution, clearly says that the Department of Education is unconstitutional and should be implemented and managed down at the states. So first things first, repeal the Department of Education. Send it in kind down to all 50 states. Decentralizing the schools this way will make it far more difficult for special interests to go right to Washington, D.C. Instead, they'll have to go to every school system around the country. If the control is broken up, you would immediately see a massive amount of creative ways on how to educate the country's youth. Some states would fail, but many would succeed wildly, and immediately, school districts across the country would demand that those methods be implemented in their school district. Imagine how creative school districts would get in educating our youth and taking care of teachers. Everybody wins. Right now, we have programs like No Child Left Behind and Common Core, and they are measurably failing our students. All the students are starting to lose interest, and what does that result in? A much less educated American youth. Consider this, the Department of Education was created in 1979. Before then, we had created electricity, atomic bombs, the birth control pill, jets that fly faster than the speed of sound, the internet. We even put a man on the moon. All of those done without a federal Department of Education, all of those done down at the state and the local level. And no, more money is not the answer. Kansas City School District, they blew through $2 billion. And they're still spending 40% more than the national average, terrible graduation rates, and even if you do manage to graduate, your student still has to get a GED afterwards. You should be able to decide what school your child goes to. Right now, in the most destroyed inner cities, charter schools are the lifeline, and we need more. We need to reverse this so that your school is competing for your students rather than your student competing for a school. Finally, the American university system. It's no question that it's not what it used to be, and I think these three ideas will massively bring back a competitive and fair university system once more. First, a full stop on issuing and guaranteeing student loans by the federal government. Return that business back to your local banks like it was before 2012. Second, allow declaring of bankruptcy of a student loan. A student loan may be the only type of loan right now in America that you cannot declare bankruptcy on. And finally, either 0 or 1% fixed student loan interest. Those bankers have played some dirty tricks in the past, and now we have an entire generation of college students paying endlessly on student loan interest and debt. These three solutions would absolutely bring back a common sense solution to university It would keep a student from going to get a $200,000 general studies degree, and it's going to bring students, local banks, and universities back into the room to keep education quality high and costs low. At this point, I don't even care who's to blame. Let's just fix it. It's time to be brave and repeal failed legislation so that our future students can have an awesome education and we can all win. So I'm asking you, on November 3rd, vote Ryan Derks. My name is Ryan Derks, and I approve this message.